Only primary towers and a hero of choice. That is the game mode we're playing today. I recently made a video where I tried to get as far as I could on deflation mode, and yesterday I had the idea, why not do the same thing in some other game modes? So I started out by thinking about what hero I wanted to use, and my first thought was Isili to take care of some tough rounds with a lot of bads, and especially round 140 with a fortified bad. But then I recalled another video that I made recently, the Geraldo Sun avatar spam, and thought, hey, maybe this strategy could actually be useful for this challenge. But turns out you cannot use the item from the store, it's restricted. So that was kinda sad. It would have been cool to find a challenge where this strategy would actually be useful. But I also noticed an item that surprisingly was not restricted. The Quincy action figure, or the NFT as many people like to call it. This means that we can actually farm in primary only mode. So now, the ideas for a strategy took some new shapes once again. Here's the plan. We're going to go for a Paragon, and the Paragon we want to get is the Glaive Dominus. It's more expensive than the Apex, but it's going to be a lot better and we won't have enough money to get both. We place the NFT at the end of round 5 as early as we possibly can, and then we want to make our defense centered around boomerang monkeys since we want to start farming pops for them and also start spamming them for sacrifices in order to get a higher degree Paragon. In the primary only game mode, we don't have a lot of towers that have camo detection. Tags don't see camo, bomb shooters don't, boomerang monkeys don't, and we don't have access to a village either. But we do have Geraldo's potion that allows towers to see camo for 10 to 15 rounds depending on the level of Geraldo. But we also have a monkey knowledge that allows turbocharged boomerangs to see camo while the ability is active. And this is great because this happens to be the tower that we want to spam for DPS and sacrifices, and will now help us take care of DDTs. And also, the spinning glaives of the Glaive Lord can also pop camo. The goal for now is to survive as long as possible without having to sell the NFT. Some other cheap DPS towers will be the Tax Zone and Crossbow Masters. We will also save up for some debuffs. We can get a Glue Storm and a Super Brittle and an Embrittlement, which we can place in the center if we use a Middle Path Ice Monkey to freeze the water. Geraldo's Sharpening Stone will be used on the Tax Zone. Given that we don't have any other buffs on the Tax Zone, that item alone will at least double its DPS in the later game when we have the better version of the stone. We do have access to Paragon totems in Geraldo's store, but that is way too expensive and won't be worth it at all. On round 138, we're getting overwhelmed by fortified DDTs, so I decided to sell the NFT and get the Paragon. After spending all the money I could on sacrifices, except for selling my crossbows, we got a degree 75 Glaive Dominus, only 1 degree away from the max level without using Paragon totems. Kind of annoying, to be honest. But now at least we have a lot of DPS for the moment, and since Paragons can see camo, DDTs is no longer an issue. Now we can relax and save up some money. It's pretty satisfying seeing a Paragon pretty much solo through some rounds, especially Paragons like the Glaive Dominus or the Ascended Shadow that has seeking projectiles. There's just something really nice about it. As always, I can't wait until the next Paragon release, but for now I think I have enough video ideas until then. I have quite a few ideas on my own, and plus all the suggestions I get from you guys. Ideas that I do want to do, I write down on a list, and that one just keeps on growing. Anyway, now we're gonna get started on getting our ice debuff towers right in the center. And after that, before we get the Glue Storm, we were gonna get the Plasma Monkey Fan Club. That tower is gonna be very good DPS for a cheap price, transforming 20 Dart Monkeys into Plasma Monkeys. And these, by the way, can also take the Sharpening Stone buff. Then we get the Glue Storm and sell one of our Crossbow Masters to get the Tax Zone, a Moab Glue with Camo Potion and a Moab Press. And as we continue, the rounds are getting pretty tough with several bads, but the defense is still holding strong and nothing is getting to the last outer loop. But at round 200 awaits 2 fortified bads, and that's where we run into a big fat brick wall. Right here was the first attempt, and as you can see, I was not even close to popping the first bad when it had already went into the outer loop. Then I realized that I have Geraldo's rejuve potions, and I can use them twice to instantly remove the cooldown for all abilities, and we can use this to have the Plasma Monkey fan club active for longer. But even that did not work, so I took the same idea one step further and sold and rebought the fan club after using my 2 rejuves to get even more uptime. But that did not work either, and I tried selling the crossbow for a permacharge instead or a Moab eliminator, but nothing worked. And I even tried some really silly ideas like this one right here. But this setup is far from optimal, so I decided to restart the whole thing. This time we know more about what kind of setup we want to use, and we can choose our towers in the beginning a bit more carefully. And also we're gonna try to survive longer without selling the NFT. This time we passed round 138 using a lot of turbocharges and even managed to beat the fortified bad at 140 using 2 rejuve potions and spamming all abilities. This time we did not sell the NFT until round 145, giving us another 55k to work with. This time we got a degree 76 Glaive Dominus, and we placed our ice debuffs better and also gave better placements to the Plasma Monkey fan club monkeys. The extra money allowed us to have an Inferno Ring for extra DPS and a Super Glue right at the end of the track to stop the DDTs when the bad pops right before the exit. On top of this, we also had the money to sell and rebuy the Plasma Monkey fan club twice, allowing us to activate the ability a lot, and also to place 2 of Geraldo's genie bottles. Given how much better this run was than the last, you might have expected me to beat round 200 now, and so did I, but no. The second bad always got too far. Eventually I decided to risk it and let the bad pop really late, and unfortunately the super glue did not stop the DDTs. This was done in an actual game and not in challenge editor. Choosing to continue was no use. It did not revert me to the beginning of round 200, but rather kept the towers as they were when the round ended, and also most of my money was gone. I didn't bother to try a third time, but given how close it was, I'm pretty sure you can do it. Perhaps a challenge for you if you're looking for something to do. Next up, I think we're gonna try military only, so subscribe if that's something you wanna see, and leave a like if you enjoyed this video, and I will see you next time.